I am a generational curse breaker in my family. Not to say I'm the only one, but I'm definitely one. In the sense that my journey has been very much soul led. Okay? In my family, and my mom and I do genealogy, and I was asking her about this the other day. If there's anyone that she knows of who ventured away from religion and Christianity and explored spirituality, explored within, followed butters. Girl, followed their soul. My journey is very much soul led. Okay, and this has really come along in the past couple years. And if you aligned with this video, you could be a generational curse breaker too. And if what I'm saying is resonating with you, or you're just here to hear because you're meant to listen to my testimony, I don't know. But I am the only one in my family that I know of who has, again, ventured away from spirituality, followed my soul path. Okay, I follow what my soul tells me. I have had to unlearn a lot of things that I learned growing up. A lot about money. Like, the idea that money is hard to get, money is hard to come by. You have to work really hard for money, and even then, you're not gonna get a lot, you know? That's a belief that has been passed down for sure. And it seems like a reality, but it's not. It's not. Everything is energy, including money. And this is something that I've been learning for the past few years as well. I've had to unlearn a lot of, like, money's evil type things, you know? I'm very much I'm still working on it, on healing my relationship with money. Like, as a child, I would worry about my mom's finances, and that was not for me to worry about, and it's not her fault at all. It's just, it was instilled in me generationally, as most things are. And so what I'm saying is I had to unlearn that, okay? I had to unlearn the fear surrounding money, and there's definitely still some fear, and I'm definitely still working on it, because this is a very deep-rooted issue. Where was I going with this? Well, okay. My mom and I do genealogy. And the other night, okay, did I already say this? I was asking her if there was anyone in our family that she knew of who, I said this again, ventured away from Christianity and religion and explored spirituality or anything like that, or was intuitive or psychic or anything like that. She said no. She said there's not a single one that she knows of, and she knows our genealogy pretty extensively. I guess I haven't really looked into my dad's side. I don't really speak to them very much. Or they don't speak to me. But they are, I don't want to say more open-minded. They're more out there. I don't know how to say that. And I also don't know a whole lot about them in general, so maybe the intuitiveness and whatever has been passed down from my paternal side? I haven't thought about this before. I don't know. But I was gonna say, like, I always get so jealous, I'm just envious of people who are like, yeah, it was just passed down in my family and we learned this, and like my grandma was an intuitive and she taught me this and that. I'm like, okay, I had to learn it all by myself. I had to teach myself, but good for you. It's I mean, I think a large part of that envy is them having, I mean, not even necessarily a community, just someone in their family, someone close to them who they can relate to and who can teach them things. In my case, there's no one in my family who is like me currently. I haven't been able to relate to anyone. I come from a very small part of Minnesota, and it's very, I don't know, everyone comes from farmers, and which farmers can be intuitive too, but like, you know what I mean, it's just, there's no one around me in my entire life who was spiritual or interested in the things that I have always been drawn to, and for that reason, I've always felt like an odd duck, because I don't know, I always thought it was weird, because I was always interested in, and I always questioned religion, even when I was little. I always questioned it, but I didn't really speak up about it as far as I could remember, because everyone around me was so, this is the way it is, and that's okay. That's how they were raised, that's how their mindset is, and that's fine. But I am the generational curse breaker, because, bitch, I am here to prove to them, to show them that life is not as limited as we have all been conditioned to believe, okay? And it's very hard because I'm not rich yet. Keyword yet. I have always had this very deep inner knowing that I'm gonna be rich as frack. I was little as hell, and I was like, I'm gonna be super rich, and I've never had a doubt about it, that I'm gonna be super wealthy one day. I've never had a doubt about it, and I never knew how I was gonna get there. But I knew, even as a child, that I was gonna be rich as frick one day, and I'm gonna be the one. This is generational, but I'm gonna be the one to prove to them that life is not as limited as they've been conditioned, as we've all been conditioned to think it is. Because I'm gonna be the one, the first one who is rich. And I'm gonna prove to them that they can believe in themselves. And that they can venture outside of what they grew up hearing and what they know. Like, nobody around me, it's like, not, oh, what was that? Oh, nobody around me, not family, not friends, not acquaintances, not, hold on, okay, it's funny, there's a financial person calling me right now, and I'm not interested. Anyways, where was I? But nobody, classmates, family, friends, nobody, co-workers, I never came across anyone who believed in the things I believed in, who believed in manifestation, who believe in just spiritual things. And when I ever came across any of that, I was extremely drawn to it. My entire life, I was extremely drawn to anyone who was just a smidge interested. Someone who does tarot. The first time I met someone who does tarot, I'm still friends with her, but she doesn't do tarot anymore, and she's leaned away from that a lot. Whereas she inspired me a lot to step into it. But even then, I just never had people who I can relate to in that sense. So I've always felt like a bit of an outcast. And it has been very hard. Nobody believed in manifestation. Nobody believed in spirituality. Nobody believes. Even now, I talk about it and I feel crazy. But then I will go online and I will see people who talk about it like it's normal. And it makes me... And this is something that has been popping up again recently. And it's just... There's a community for me out there. There is. People who wouldn't look at me crazy for the things that I say. Not that everyone in my family or everyone around me looks at me crazy necessarily, but some of the things I say I know sound a little nuts to a lot of them. Not to say they're closed-minded, but it's just how we were raised. It's just the ideas that were implanted in our head as we grow up, and we're not exposed to all that, we're not taught any of this. We're not taught that everything is energy, because and like the CIA documents, like, they try to hide it and stuff like that. So it's like somebody doesn't want the general public to know about this, about spirituality and all the woo-woo stuff. But there's a lot of us who have bypassed that because we were meant to know, because we are meant to know, we are meant to share it. We are meant to let people know that you are not limited to your circumstances. You are not limited to your circumstances. You can do whatever you want, because everything is energy, and you are God. Not you are God, but we are all source energy is everything. And that's a video for another day. That's something you can do your own research on. The initial statement sounds nuts. Again. And maybe there's lots of people who are like, that doesn't sound crazy at all. To me, initially, when I sang it out of my mouth, half the stuff I say sounds freaking crazy, because I was never, and none of it was ever validated by anyone around me, and so I've always had to rely on my own faith in myself that what I'm saying is right. It's been a tough journey. But I'm learning that I'm not alone. And there are people, yes, there are plenty of people in my life who support me. And maybe they may not understand everything that I'm saying to them, and maybe I sound a little nuts, but they're trying. They're like, okay, sure. And maybe they look into it for themselves, and that's freaking awesome. And that's the whole goal. That's what I'm here to do. I am a catalyst, I believe. And I don't want to make myself sound special, but this is my experience. I'm just saying my experience straight up. I have always felt very alone. And it's nobody's fault. It's just, that's the way it's been. And I've learned to cope with that. And I've learned to trust in myself more than the words of anyone else, because that's what you're supposed to do. You should trust yourself and your soul. I know I am an old soul, and I already innately knew a lot of this. I just lost my train of thought. I started thinking about Two Girls, One Ghost podcast. It's funny. Where am I? But, yeah. I meant to teach the people, the quote-unquote small-minded. They're not small-minded, but they're just limited to what they learned growing up, and limited to their family teachings. I wish I had a better way to say this, but I'm here to show them that there is so much more. And the general population too, not just the people closest to me, but the general population. I think that's why I'm on social media, and maybe also to find my community, because there's no one near me, and I have also been feeling called to move away, or just to leave and go, because there's not a whole lot of people with this mindset in where I'm at, which is why it's so tricky, but I'm not rich right now, but I know I will be, and I've always had that innate knowing, like I said, and I'm gonna show them, and I've always known this, I'm gonna show them that you can do whatever you set your mind to, and it doesn't have to be hard. Nothing has to be hard, and you don't have to work that hard either. My family is very hardworking, and it's very admirable, and they're amazing, but it doesn't have to. I've never been I've never seen the point in working that hard. And so I've always kind of thought I might be lazy in question, but it's like, then I look around and like, people, you can, we can get rich by following our passions and just doing what we love. Follow your soul callings, your inner soul callings. And especially at first, I feel like I'm covering a lot, but nothing at the same time. But like, especially at first, it's probably pretty difficult to follow that because you don't even know what intuition is, right? I feel like a lot of my just the people around me are not extremely educated yet in intuition and manifestation and spirituality because they weren't interested in it, you know? And that's why I was, to help and kickstart that interest and kickstart that education. And if they're not interested in it, that's fine. But they'll see that, yes, maybe I sounded crazy as hell to them, but I still did everything I said I was going to. You know? And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to help. I can't wait. But it's it's like, I'm still going through my own lessons before I can get there, you know? Like, I can show them how my mindset has changed and all that, but I don't have the proof yet, except for that I'm happy. Even though I'm broke, I'm happy, you know? But I don't have the financial proof to show them yet. Once I do, I feel like that'll kickstart a lot. I don't know when that's coming because I'm still working on my own lessons and my own... I still have plenty to learn too. I'm not claiming to know everything at all, but I want to skip, and not just because I want to be rich. It's just because I want to show them that you can do it, but I have to do it first, you know. It's always been so tricky, but I'm navigating it, and I'm so excited. And I guess I didn't even know this. My mom said something about how when I was little, I told her I was going to buy her a purple van. And she texted me the other day and said she's still waiting on that purple van, which I don't even remember. But, like, proof, even as a kid, I knew. And I always wanted to buy I always wanted to help my family. And I just can't wait. I can't wait for when the day comes. Alright. I think that means the channel is over. But yeah, I hope you took something from this, because I sure did.